Hi, everyone. Today I'm here with Mekenzie Saban, who is a 2022 graduate of our Master of Business Administration program. Thanks for joining me today, Mekenzie.
Thanks for having me.
So, Mekenzie, where do you currently work and what do you do there?
I'm currently working at PNC in Pittsburgh, and I'm a finance and accounting development analyst where I rotate through four different areas within finance and accounting at PNC. And ultimately, at the end of it, I will place into a position as a finance specialist.
Awesome. That's super exciting. And we were talking before this, you get a lot of good experience in those different teams that you're working on. So, how do you think your MBA degree helped prepare you for this current role?
It's prepared me in so many ways, from being able to have the skills to communicate effectively with higher ups, to my management skills that have helped me in project based work, and then all the way to just creating a network that has been kind of stemmed through my experiences through my MBA.
That's great. Thanks so much for sharing that, your perspective of how the MBA helped prepare you for your current role. So, what do you think? What made you choose St. Francis as the place to continue your educational journey?
So I was fortunate enough to get my undergrad at St. Francis as well. And throughout that process, I created great relationships with my professors, my advisors, and I knew that if I wanted to go somewhere where I genuinely got the best education for me, while creating those relationships, it was going to be St. Francis. So it was a no-brainer that I got that opportunity. It also helped that my dad went back to school to get his MBA around the same time, and he chose St. Francis as well.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting! Was he in an you were you in the same classes at any point?
We weren't in the same classes, but he definitely utilized my knowledge of professors to pick his courses. But I don't think there's a single bad professor at St. Francis, so it made it pretty easy.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I went through our MBA program around the same time you did, and I know the professors are great here. But that's a really cool story. I'm glad you shared that. So, what was your favorite part of your educational journey at St. Francis?
Kind of going back to my previous answer. So the professors are amazing. There's not many places where you get the opportunity to create the relationships that you do at St. Francis. They care about you, they know all of, everything that's going on in your life, and they're always there for you to go and ask questions, discuss your future, any of the questions. Like, they're just super open. And I really couldn't have asked for better professors in my experience.
Absolutely. I feel the exact same way. I liked going through here for my MBA and coming back and working with them every day. The people make the place, and St. Francis is so much more special because of the people who work here. What would you tell someone who's on the fence about starting graduate school?
I would say just do it. I think, there's no time like the present. If you're starting off your career and you don't know if you want to go straight into a position or get your MBA, I think it's an awesome segue right into the MBA, and it's an advantage that you have going into the workforce. And then if you're looking to go back and get your MBA, I think there's no place like St. Francis. Like I mentioned, they understand working individuals. Like I referred, me and my dad both obviously got our MBA, both in very different experiences, right? I went from undergrad straight to my MBA, and he went back to school after years of being in the workforce. Both, they tailored those experiences to each of us because I might not have had that work experience, but he had a bunch, right? So every opportunity at St. Francis was tailored to us and tailored to the experiences that we've already had in our careers.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I totally agree. If you could use one word to describe your experience at St. Francis, what would it be?
Probably meaningful. I think in so many different ways. I found so much meaning in the experience myself, but I also felt like that, I was there was meaningfulness for me as well. That I wasn't just a number, I wasn't just a face in a crowd. I actually got to have um, meaningful conversations and meaningful experiences that I will carry with me throughout my entire career.
Awesome. I love that word. Absolutely. Every experience you have at St. Francis is meaningful in each and every way. So thanks, Mekenzie, for joining me and sharing your experience about your MBA in the Shield School of Business. It's been a pleasure talking to you today.
Thanks for having me again.